Okay, this is the intro to a how-to video about making journal blanks. Now, sometimes you have these old comic books that are sort of a little bit destroyed, but the artwork is really nice and it's got some nostalgia to it. And what I've seen people on Etsy do is to take these, laminate them, and then use them as the cover for like a sketchbook or a journal notebook. And that includes taking blank paper, punching it with a square hole punch, and having this laminated, usually about 45-50 pages. Anyway, I'm going to walk through the process of how to do that yourself. Alright, the first step is you need to split this in half, and you want to do it as cleanly as possible. You could do it with scissors, but if you have a paper cutter, I would recommend that. The width you're looking for, or if you just split it in half, it's going to be approximately like 6 5/8, just a little bit more than that. So we're going to go right about there. And you want, again, you want as clean a cut as possible. So you may have to figure out where to line it up to get that. And just do a cut. Alright, now you have your two pieces. Alright, now we're going to laminate. The key here is that we're going to do 10 mil lamination, and this is from Bindy Tech, 50 pack you can get from Amazon. A lot of laminators won't do 10 mil if they're a cheaper brand, and so this one looks like it's called Cinchi Pro Lamy F3420P. I'll put that in the notes. But what we want to do is take a sheet of this 10 mil lamination, and for those that might be wondering, 10 mil is actually for each piece of this, so it's 10 mil on top and 10 mil on the bottom, so that's 20 mil total. Alright, we want to slide this in. We're not going to go all the way to the top, almost to the top. Give us a little bit of margin, both at the top and the bottom here, and then we're going to run it through, put it like roughly in the middle when we send it through. One other thing to note here is that you can set the film thickness. So if I hit the pouch size, 3, 5, 7, 10, I want to set it for 10. I think that adjusts the heat level, and the speed will keep it at the default. Alright, we're going to run this through. I use these little wood blocks just to keep it level so it doesn't add any additional curvature as it's going through. We're just using the default speed. And one of the cool things about the lamination is that it looks really dull right now, but the lamination actually gives it a nice shiny finish that all the colors tend to pop a little bit more. Alright, now we're going to do the back side. Now I keep the back side this way so that any curvature, whatever curvature the system might be putting into it, it'll be consistent, and so that both the front and the back will be curved in the same way. If there shouldn't be a lot of curvature, but if any curvature is in there, they'll both be going in the same direction. So I have this one basically flipped as if you were looking at it from the front. Okay, so we've laminated our covers. The next step is that we need to cut this down to size, and we're going to do that on this paper cutter. It's going to be slightly different than when we cut regular paper, because what we're actually trying to do is to get ourselves a little bit of a margin on these edges and then a slightly larger margin on this side where the binding is going to be. All right, I'm going to start with this edge. I've already marked about 3/16 of an inch on this side, so that's how much of a margin we're going to leave ourselves. And then I'll tape this down, because the lamination is really slippery. In order to keep it from moving as we cut, a little bit of tape here, and then we also hold it down, try and hold it down across the entire thing. The end is the most important part, and then do one nice clean cut, like so. All right, now we're going to do the same for the top and the bottom. We want about a 3/16 of an inch there, and try to make sure that we're square. Not every comic book cover is going to be exactly square, just because of the way they're made. Make sure we're holding it down. We tape it, keep it from slipping. We're holding it down. Not exactly a clean cut, but we got it. And then we do the other end. Same thing. All right. Now we're going to do the edge where the spine's going to go, where the ring. Now in this particular situation, we want it to be an exact width, and I've already marked it. We want these to be 7 1/4, and so we line this up at 7 1/4, and just sort of make sure that we're all square. We'll tape it to keep it from slipping, and then again hold it down tight, and then one clean cut. There we go. All right. Now this has some sharp corners here, so we're going to take care of that. Okay, so when we cut this, these corners become really sharp, and so I use this corner cutter. It's 1/2 inch radius. You basically slide this in like that until the edges are flush, and then just clip like so, and you get like a nice rounded corner. And we do that to all 4 corners. Pretty easy. I'll try and put the source for the part number for this punch, this corner punch, in the description. All right, there we go, all 4 corners. All right, now we're going to punch the ring binding edge. First thing we do is we set our margin. We want our margin to be maximum, so that we get a little bit of extra, so that when it's bound with all the paper, we have a little bit of extra room there where the cover will protect that edge of the paper. Now I've removed the stop here, but we want the edge of where the cover starts, not the lamination, but the cover, to line up roughly where we would put our other ones. And then we just want to line up this to make sure it's centered. We use these punch marks here to make sure it's centered. So we have our margin, we're centered here, we don't need the stop, we're just going to hold it in place, and we use this front lever to make the punch. Alright, there you go. And ideally these would be just slightly off of the cover. We have enough of a margin here that we're not punching into the cover. Alright, so there we go. Now the next step, we're going to do that for the back, and then we will bind this with the paper. Alright, thank you for watching.